Hello and welcome back to Inner Peace Place. I'm Karen. Today's topic is number 47, Keep the Flow. Our goal is to try to figure out a way to easily or fluidly make decisions about what we're doing day in and day out with the assistance of our higher self, our soul self, or the Holy Spirit. We want to say, the past is a valuable tool if I use it correctly. And so what I want to do is have actions and decisions based in this moment, in the power of this moment. And that's what we're doing with this work. We're learning how to blend the two seemingly opposite worlds. To keep the flow, it is more along the lines of where you are focused. I know that sounds a little simple, but chaos has a flow to it. If you think about it, it has an energy of its own. It is bumpy and energetic and exciting, and it kind of fills up your body with your physical form with different energy patterns or feelings. So it isn't that you're out of a flow when you live a life of chaotic desires. It's that's where your flow is, scattered. And so what we would like to do in an effort to be more connected to a spiritual source, or at least a source that is more knowledge-based than we are, is to focus more on the flowing energies around us. You can recreate a state of flow by simply thinking about it. You might be at work doing something, and you could say, on the hour, every hour, I will spend 30 seconds in rebuilding my connection, my awareness of the connection to the all that is. Or one thing I try to do is when I walk through a door casing, I know that there's a change about to happen. I'm going from this room to that room. And so I set the intention that I will make a new, fresh connection with my flowing energies, or with my awareness of my higher self, my soul self. Habit-based decisions can be in this moment. You can do that. That's your new habit. My habit is to refresh my connection before I make a decision to talk, or to do something, or to plan something. It is in conjunction with the decisions we've made in the past. We're making new ones. The roadblock is just that your ego personality self likes chaos. It really does. And flowing energy is death. There's no excitement. There's no drama, all of the things that we've grown up with. Your personality self is like, well, that's boring. I don't really like that. Even though you've made the decision that this is the direction you want to go, your personality self wasn't in on that decision in some form or fashion. So what we want to do is say, okay, how can I make this new path of mine more interesting to my old habits? We want to develop that desire. Oh, this is uncomfortable. Why is it uncomfortable? It's chaotic energies. Oh, is it chaotic energies? Yes, it is. I've chosen not to become engaged with those types of energies. So What types of energies do you want to replace it with? Something fun and focused and uplifting, not boring, focused, and uplifting. We need some passion behind this, or your ego personality self is really going to be struggling against you. It will be dragging its feet because this isn't fun. We gotta have fun. One of the things you may notice is that your physical form, your physical body, doesn't feel comfortable at different times. And there are ways to work on that. And by not comfortable, I mean energetically, not pain per se. Well, it can be that actually. But for the purposes of this talk, we're going to say, I feel uncomfortable in this situation. And that discomfort is here. Oh, or is it here? Or is it in my where is it? You have to identify that first. What we want to learn to do is say, I would like to feel the flow throughout my physical form. And you can find a bottleneck, a restriction in that flow, and work on it. I find that traditionally it goes to my solar plexus, but recently as I've been playing more and more with this, I find that I also get it in my throat center. A restriction is what I'm talking about. So what you can do to work on this is visualize a cone going out from your body, and the smaller point of the cone is coming towards your throat center, heart center, solar plexus, wherever you want, third eye. And there are so many ways to learn to do this online. You can talk to spiritual leaders. They can teach you step by step how to do this, but this is a real quick, down and dirty way to do it. So you visualize a spinning cone coming from your third eye, or from your throat center, from your heart center, or your solar plexus, or you can do them all at the same time. It's easier to learn one at a time. So you feel a restriction in your stomach area, or just in that area. So you want to pretend that there is this cone of light widening. It was restricted before. And so what you're trying to do is increase the upward flowing energy to that part of your body. There's so many different ways. You can see it as a rotating cone of different colors if you wish. There's no rules for this, because as you do it, you'll find what works for you. So I would start with anything and then play with it when you're not at work. You're just sitting at the house, nice and calm. You're thinking about an activity that did bring chaos into your awareness. And so you're like, okay, so what would I do in that situation? Oh, I felt it here, because you can remember and recreate those energies. You're all powerful, remember? So as you recreate it, you can close your eyes and say, okay, where do I feel that? Oh, it's right here. What can I do to change that? What can I do to shift that? And that's when you start playing with having this visualization and embellishing it, moving it, shifting it, changing the color, changing the motion involved with it, until you get a form of relief or a shift or a change in what you're perceiving. This is very powerful work, and it will assist you in keeping flow in your life. In other words, I do really well in most situations, but then all of a sudden I get smacked with this old habit of X, and I fall out of the flow. I feel like I fall out of the flow. You really aren't, but it feels that way, totally. I get that. So then you can, after it happens or during, if the environment allows you to do it, you find the spot. Where are you out of the flow? Oh, my throat center. I'm feeling challenged. I'm not able to say what I want to, or whatever the case might be. So you just close your eyes or if you need to leave them open because you're doing something you need to leave your eyes open for, just visualize a cone of light and expand it. The expansion is what we need, because when we are in an expanded state of energy, we can more readily feel our connection, our flow. And in doing that, we're focusing on the part of our path that brings us joy and not the chaotic path. So, if you're in a chaotic situation, especially if you know you're going into that chaotic situation, you already have been there before and you know it's crazy, you can set the intention to keep all of your centers flowing and open. Now, you step into a situation you didn't know was going to be chaotic. That's what gets me. Just bam, it hits you. So you can try to say, oh, hey, it's here. Chaos is around me, and I don't want to play that game anymore. Shift, find the place in your physical form that you can feel it, and expand that space, expand that area of your physical form. And again, if you want to really learn how to do this, find someone to teach you. I've seen it in books, online classes. There's all sorts of ways to learn how to manage your physical energy. And that's pretty important, because as you do that, then the chaotic energies won't get stuck there. It's terrible. You're living in a state of stuckness, or of opposite of expansion, unexpansion. Expanded space is the flow. The restricted space is chaos. It has a lot of energy to it, but it is restricted. I hope some of this resonated with you. Love and light to you in your path. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.